Last season in anime? A wild ride. We had shows that exceeded the hype, others that straight up crashed and burned, and a few surprises in between. Whether you're here to discover your next binge or to see if your favorites made the list, we're diving into fan favorites versus overhyped trash, ranking the best and worst animes of this fall 2024. So grab your Pocky, settle in, and let's get started. The overhyped disappointments. Goodbye, Dragon Life. This show had so much potential. A dragon reincarnated as a farmer? A Lamia sidekick? It sounds like peak fantasy anime. But here's the problem. It dragged. Dolan's adventures should have been compelling, but instead, they felt like someone telling you about their weekend in excruciating detail. Sure, it's cozy, but where's the tension? The stakes? Even the Lamia sidekick Serena had more charisma than the entire plotline. Fans wanted magic, but this felt like reheated leftovers. So, what are the fans saying? Well, a lot of viewers felt the pacing was off. The show dragged with episodes that didn't really go anywhere, spending too much time on everyday tasks instead of diving into the dragon's backstory or the struggles of his new life. Then there's the repetitive dialogue. Characters kept saying the same things over and over without really growing, so conversations started to feel flat. And the biggest gripe? The lack of conflict. Dolan's life as a farmer just didn't bring any real tension or excitement, leaving people asking, why should I care? Then there's Demon Lord Retry R. The sequel nobody asked for. This was supposed to revamp the original, but it just gave us more of the same. Only worse. The Demon Lord is less menacing and more meme-worthy, and the humor? Let's just say it's stuck in 2012. It's like they tried to slap a shiny coat of paint on a broken down car. Imagine this. You're a demon lord, surrounded by a mess of chaos and confusing plot twists. What's your plan to survive? Why not do absolutely nothing? That's right. Your brilliant strategy is to do nothing. Let your army of weirdos sort it out and just watch the chaos unfold. Will you survive? Of course. It's a world where no one knows what's going on. So why not just sit back, eat some popcorn, and wait for the plot to somehow resolve itself? Okay, enough of the flops. Let's move on to the underrated gems. No longer allowed in another world. This isekai flips the script. Instead of a power fantasy, we get Osamu Dazai, a guy who's so over life. He just wants to die poetically. But every time he tries, fate throws him a curveball. It's hilarious, bleak, and surprisingly heartfelt. Think of it as ReZero with existential dread cranked up to 11. What makes it stand out? This anime takes a sharp turn from the typical isekai formula with its dark humor and self-aware tone. Instead of following the usual hero's journey, we get Osamu Dazai, a protagonist who's not interested in saving the world or embarking on epic quests. No, he's all about finding the perfect place to die. The show effortlessly pokes fun at isekai tropes, flipping the genre on its head and giving us a protagonist who's more concerned with avoiding hero duties than completing them. Osamu's sarcastic commentary. His biting, sarcastic remarks about the absurd world he's stuck in are pure gold. Whether he's mocking his surroundings or the over-the-top characters he encounters, his wit shines through every moment. His increasingly ridiculous attempts to meet his poetic end. Osamu tries again and again to find the perfect poetic way to meet his end, only to have everything backfire. His increasingly absurd and often hilarious attempts to escape make him both tragic and hilarious at the same time. It's these moments of dark humor and complete disregard for the usual isekai expectations that set No Longer Allowed in Another World apart from the crowd. Ah, Blue Box. Where do I even start? This show perfectly blends romance and sports drama, giving us a slow burn love story that'll make you root for Taiki and Chinatsu. It's wholesome, heartfelt, and proof that not all anime needs explosives to leave an impact. Blue Box isn't just about hitting shuttlecocks. It's about hitting new levels of self-belief. Taiki isn't just training to win. He's learning how to fight his inner doubts and push through obstacles that seem impossible. It's a story of becoming the best version of yourself, even when the odds are stacked against you. Ever felt like your dream was just out of reach? Taiki's journey is a mirror of that struggle. We've all had moments where it feels like we're giving our all, but the finish line keeps moving. But just like Taiki, sometimes the biggest wins come when we keep pushing, even when we feel like quitting. If we add one more, these gems might just start turning into rocks. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the fan favorites that delivered. Dandadan. This show is a chaotic masterpiece. Aliens, ghosts, and wild action sequences all wrapped up in stunning animation. The chemistry between Ayase and her alien-obsessed friend keeps things fresh and hilarious. It's the kind of show that throws everything at you, and somehow, it all works. Who knew that an argument about aliens versus ghosts would lead to such epic adventures? Dandadan keeps us hooked with jaw-dropping action scenes, unexpected twists, and battles that go beyond the ordinary. Momo and the boys clash between the supernatural and the extraterrestrial, set the stage for some wild confrontations, and each episode builds the tension to a thrilling crescendo. Did you know Dandadan is created by the same mangaka behind Jujutsu Kaisen? Yep, that's right. Dandadan was born from the mind of a pro when it comes to blending action, humor, and the supernatural. You are Miss Servant, a former assassin trying to become a maid. It sounds ridiculous, and it absolutely is, but in the best way. Yuki's attempts at household chores are both adorable and laugh out loud funny. And the action scenes remind you she's still got those killer instincts. Is Yuki the best girl of the season? She's got the charm, the mysterious past, and those assassin skills that definitely make her stand out. But is she your favorite? Drop your thoughts below. Now, before we close, let's check on some of the mixed reviewed shows. We're calling it Mixed Bag. Loner Life in Another World. This one's a guilty pleasure for sure. It's chaotic, cringy, and full of over-the-top tropes. But somehow, it's still watchable. Think of it as the junk food of anime. Bad for you, but you can't stop consuming it. What's your anime personality? If you vibe with Loner Life in Another World, you probably love over-the-top isekai, where the main character stumbles through the craziest adventures with zero effort. Think random powers, sarcastic humor, and a lot of weird situations. If that sounds like your kind of anime, then this is your show. Let me know if you're with Haruka on this wild ride. Let this grieving soul retire. This one's a slow burn. It's not groundbreaking, but it's got charm. Prey Adri is the ultimate reluctant hero, and his friends' antics make up for his lack of ambition. If you're looking for something chill, this might be your vibe. So, that's the fall season in a nutshell. From the absolute hits to the shows we're trying to forget, it's been an unforgettable ride. If your favorite or least favorite anime didn't make the cut, let me know in the comments. And hey, if you disagree with me, let's argue about it down below. I'm ready.